Past the hour of 8 and time for us to dissect the trending stories of the day. Yes, stories relating from governance, health, education, politics, security, business, and other trending issues arising in our dear country, Nigeria. Lagos, welcome to Spotlight on Super FM 92.7. I am Michael Young. Spotlight begins. Today on Spotlight, we'll head to the educational sector where we'll talk about the ban on basic school graduation ceremony and textbooks. Yes, I'm sure a lot of Nigerians, a lot of you must have been hearing about the ban on school graduation for junior schools, primary and nursery school graduation parties. Well, it happened in Benue State recently. It happened in Imo State. I think Imo State started this drama, and then other states, Benue State picked it up. Now it's heading to the north, where Kano, Kaduna are also seeking to ban basic school graduation ceremony. A lot of drama has been happening. Stakeholders in the education sector, such as the National Parent Teacher Association of Nigeria, NAPTAN, unions, parent, and non-governmental organizations have praised Edo State, praised Benue State, praised Ondo State, and Imo State for banning graduation parties for nursery and junior secondary school pupils in a bid to reduce financial burden on parents and promote stability in the education system. But National Association of Proprietors of Private Schools in Nigeria, NAPS, Nigeria, has however declared that the event as symbolic and has psychological value to the child. These and more we'll be talking on the show right here this morning. Well, we have one man who is also a proprietor right here, and we have one man who is an education researcher. Both of us, all of us, are digging it out on the issues of graduation ceremony being banned across some states in Nigeria. I'm sure a lot of people are waiting for Lagos to also make statements. You know, what's the Lagos State government doing in regards to this? Lagos State, we are the leaders of tomorrow. But let's see how much of this can go. Well, joining us live right here to discuss further this, he's an education researcher and also one man who is told the four words of education system in Nigeria. Dr. Peter Ogundoro. Dr. Peter, hi. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, The Brush.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Yes, I can hear you clearly. Good morning. It's my pleasure to join you on the show.
All right. Okay. We also have a Peter here also. We have a Peter here. Mr. Peter. Oweferia.
Owoferia.
Okay, Owoferia. All right. Thank you very much for that. We have Peter Dowo Owoferia. All right. So he's a school proprietor and also an actor. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning, The Brush. Good morning, Lagos. Good morning, Nigeria.
All right. Let's talk. Let me begin with proprietor. You are a proprietor. You own a school, and how does this eat you? Lagos State has not come out to make a statement on this, but then a lot of people, a lot of schools, a lot of states, Ondo, Benue, Imo, Edo, have declared that, well, there's no going back. Banning of graduation parties for nursery and junior secondary schools, pupils. How do you receive this?
Well, when I heard the news about the banning, it was really, I'm in between because I'm both a parent and also a proprietor.
Okay.
As a proprietor, I think on my own part, I think it's going to have a little negative effect on the children because a lot of children, they look forward towards this graduation, the excitement it brings, the happiness, the jumping up and down, the pictures, the paparazzi. They look forward towards this graduation. So that is as a proprietor. As a parent, I think the government is doing the right thing, but there should be a balance.
How do you balance this?
Personally, I think there should be in with respect to the private school. I think the private school should step down the amount of money, the kind of paparazzi, if I put the word paparazzi that goes with the thing, the private school should step it down a little because it put in a lot of pressures on some other school. Like personally, I really wouldn't want to that route, going through that route, as in putting extra burdens on parents. But when you see other schools doing it, you get parents that say, look at this school, this is what they are doing, this is the kind of gift they are giving to their children. They put you under pressure. It seems as if you don't know what to do. It seems as if you cannot do what you know. But so we want to meet up. Some schools want to meet up. Like my school, we want to, okay, let me do something also.
That others are doing.
But sincerely speaking, it's taking a toll on parents.
All right, let me come to Dr. Peter Ogundo. Dr. Peter Ogundo, you are a researcher. Also, you've told the forwards both outside and how do you receive these? What do you think about in a state or in a country that likes the O and bear kind of thing? How do you receive these?
Well, it's interesting that we live in this kind of society where these issues are things that politicians dabble into. Because quite honestly, this is not what should be front and center when it comes to education policy in our country. And so politicians definitely are spending policy energy on what they shouldn't be pouring resources into, especially in terms of time. Policymakers should be giving us the right policies that will move Nigeria's education forward.
Okay.
And what I have come to see, which again is manifesting partly through what you are reporting, is the fact that politicians who should have responsibility for ensuring that our children get the right education that will make them globally competitive are running away from their responsibilities and trying to buy parents over by giving them what looks like it will reduce their financial burden when it comes to the resources they spend training their children. Because in societies that know what education can do for all of us, where education is understood as an indispensable tool for accelerated national development, in such societies, government takes full responsibility for training the child. Even when you talk about private schools, are playing a major role now, as we can see it in Nigeria, in helping to train children. If you go to the Scandinavian region, for example, in a place like Finland, a few private schools do exist there, but what you find is that it's still the government that funds even private schools. So the private schools work for government, so it's a collaborative effort. In our own country, when you hear a school is private, the entire financial burden is on the proprietor, as the man who is sitting with you in the studio can confirm. That shouldn't be so, because education is a social good, and it's difficult for a private person working only with parents to fund it adequately, especially as we progress towards secondary education, where you need laboratories for chemistry, for biology, for physics, and for several other subjects. And then at university level becomes very problematic, especially for a developing country. It's difficult to find a private sector person that can fund education to a level that gives us education that is globally competitive without having to borrow money from banks or without having to shortchange parents. And that's very problematic. So that's a kind of foundation I'm trying to lay there. So this whole idea of let's be worrying about the graduation party and schools should use one textbook for 4 years. Those things are born out of ignorance. I can see that parents are clapping hands for government because the average parent is not an educationist.
Let me hold you there. Another dimension you're bringing in. Let me hold you there. Let's quickly go on a short commercial break. When we return, we'll dip more into this angle you're bringing, because some are saying that financially it's better for parents. And you were saying that, well, international standards, this is what is done. We'll talk more after this break. Please stay with us.
We don't just talk the talk, we walk the walk. Switch to the good side of life here on 90.
textbooks. And one man who's having a different dimension to all of this for the fact that the government have said that this will reduce financial burdens. And some proprietors of private school owners have also said that, well, it's always symbolic. It's psychological. It has value to the child. We have a proprietor here also who will take us through all this. We have a researcher who is also making a point of the fact that, well, in international standard, it is how it is. Things don't change like this. Dr. Peter Ogdoro, you were trying to make a point before we went on that commercials that, well, this is not the way. The government are just trying to be government. How do you make of that?
Yeah, so the point I'm making is that it's quite unfortunate that this is how we make policy in our country. And this, again, reflects the caliber of human resources we have at the policy realm within our society. We are not doing well as a people. What we are doing is to cut our nose to spite our face, and that's quite unfortunate for us. The responsibility that is that of government of funding education so that parents will not have, to use this as an incentive to support what shouldn't happen. Yeah. That government is failing us.
All right, let me come to
the government keeps.
Let me come to the school partner who is here. In what you just said, let me hold you a bit. Do you agree, Mr. Owefera? Do you agree with what Dr. Peter Ogdoro is saying that, well, this is supposed to be the responsibility of government, not them coming to ban, graduation ceremonies and even proprietors have said that this is a kind of psychological. Has a psychological effect. It's kind of, make the children feel refreshed in a way. And the government is saying no more graduation ceremonies, no more uses of textbooks, but sometimes circulating textbooks and all of this. So do you agree with what Dr. Peter is saying? Okay,
thank you, Mr. Michael. To a large extent, I want to agree with Dr. Peter. Personally, I have said it. I've said it to a lot of persons. The role of the government should be making policy. They should make policies that will help the sector, the system grow very well. They should contribute towards developing education because education is the foundation of any nation. Now, with respect to the banning of this graduation of course, textbook. Like I said before, I'm really in between right now.
Why?
The truth is, I had a discussion with my wife yesterday, and I was telling her, I said, sincerely speaking, as a parent, I think I like the route the government is going. So my wife was screaming. In fact, I hope she's not even listening to this program right now because I will be in trouble. So she was saying, he said, no, you're not talking like a business person. Then do you know what happened? Okay. My first daughter, my eldest daughter, she came in and said, Daddy, please, we needed my certificate and my testimonial because she wrote her WAEC two years ago, if I'm not mistaken. So we had to call the school she wrote in, and they said she has to pay 20,000 naira to get certificate and testimonial. Guess what? My wife started reacting. Say, what's the meaning of that? Why would they pay 20? I was just laughing. She started reacting. So now I told her, I said, you see when I say I'm in between right now, in the sense that to a large extent, yes, the government has a role to play in terms of policy making. Also, if the government sees that things are not going the way they ought to go in school, they make decisions, which, of course, with respect to this graduation and, of course, textbook, they are not completely off. That's the truth, because it's taking a heavy toll on parents. I personally, as a proprietor, I like it. It's good business for us. I'm sincerely speaking, let me talk as a proprietor. It's good business for us, quote and unquote. A lot of persons, a lot of proprietors.
So is it about business or about impacting the children?
Okay, Mr. Michael, let me tell you this again.
Okay.
My second daughter, when she was small, when she was about 2-3 years, she was in a particular school. Then I had not gotten a school. Do you know one of the reasons why the proprietors looked me in the face and told me not to bring my daughter again to her school was because I didn't have the money to pay for Christmas party money.
Wow.
I repeat again, I'm saying it on air. Because I didn't have money to pay for Christmas party. She told me.
No school fee.
No school fees, no lesson fees, no textbook. Christmas party. She looked me in the face and said, don't bring your daughter again because we had a graduation which was September. You did not pay. Now Christmas party you are not paying. And she looked me in the face. Then things were not going very well. I felt very bad. So even when I opened my own school, I didn't want to take that part. because a lot of parents, they are going through challenges. Like I said, to a lot of school owners, it is pure business. It is pure business. Yes. So it is taking a heavy toll on parents. At least, so like I said, there should be a balance. And the balance is, at least whatever you are charging. Do you know, so this last graduation, some schools, they charge up like 50,000 for graduation. Graduating student, 50.
Per child.
Yes, so per child. And they'll tell you, okay, we are going to give you XYZ gifts. Then if your own school that is not taking that kind of amount of money, did not charge and they didn't give such kind of gifts, your own parents will begin to compare. It's not right. And now the nitty-gritty of education, the excellence, to inspire, to inform children, that is what both the parents, both the government, everybody should look into. That is the core reason why we have education, why we have school. Sincerely speaking, these things, they are just secondary. The primary is education, learning. That is what we should concentrate more. And like I said, I'm speaking now, I hope my wife is not listening, no, please. I'm speaking now as a parent. I support the government to a large extent. The government also, if they are putting eye into private schools, into school generally, with respect to what is going on, they should also contribute, support, just like Doctor said, they should support.
Is it not a policy? Because Dr. Peter, you would, just like Dr. Peter, Mr. Peter, he has also mentioned, I mean, government coming in to do the needful. What government is doing now, is it not part of the needful? Is it not also a step to make the educational sector better?
Yeah, if you paid attention to what I was telling you earlier, I did indicate that there are procedures for making policies. If you monitor what's going on in the US at the moment, even with the large, huge, very indomitable character we have at the center of their governance, they still respect the rule of law. If the courts say you can't do this, the man stops until he's able to get a different judgment. And if he wants, things to happen differently, he sends it out proposal, and everybody, looks at it. Parents, the universities, everybody contributes, and before, the government can come and say, well, this is the next, line of action to take. So I'm not telling you that government should look away while parents suffer, spending money they shouldn't spend. But you don't cut your nose to spite your face. You don't throw away the child with the bath water. Who did the government consult really before coming out with
they have
ban
commissioners
on ceremonies and
in
insisting that we have to read books for 4 years?
Commissioners have commissioners.
Who did they consult?
They have commissioners.
They just have been reading papers and hearing complaints about some schools
Dr. Peter,
who overcharge parents
Dr. Peter,
for these ceremonies and for the books that they sell
governors
to
have commissioners in their state.
Did they ask the children who are front and center in the education system with respect to whether or not they like the ceremonies? In the world we live in today, what is best practice is that children should be front and center in everything you are doing in your classrooms. We call it learner-centered education. Money is not the first thing you talk about when you are talking about education. Education is about transforming the mind. Education is about equipping the child with the knowledge, the skills, the right attitudes and values that will prepare the child for the role the child is going to play in society. Okay? Now, we ignore all of that, and every time we want to come out with something that has to do with education, we just think about how we parents see it, and nobody talks about the teachers who are going to implement it. What have they said? Have they educated us as to what happens in the classroom? The people who are talking about this matter, parents and government officials, most of them know nothing about education. It's the truth of the matter. The average commissioner of education anywhere in Nigeria hasn't studied education, doesn't know what education psychology means. Doesn't know anything about counseling psychology, doesn't understand the meaning of school and society. And who are the people who are the constituents when we are discussing education stakeholders? Why do we always exclude the child when we are making policies that impact on him? Because we think the child is too young to give us ideas that will enable us to run classrooms that will give him what he is interested in. Children have needs. Children have interests. Children know things that can help us when we are making education policies. Why do we always make policies just to impress parents because politicians are refusing to fund education adequately.
If I get you right, Dr.
As
Peter,
it concerns this specifically, because we certainly don't have enough time. If it's a classroom situation, I can provide enough data and ideas and then theories to be able to explain why the procedure we have taken is wrong.
Right.
Indeed,
to get you right, Dr. Peter,
I have had my children processed through the education system in Nigeria. And these things we are complaining about are indeed true. Many school proprietors task parents beyond what they can handle. That is the truth of the matter. And so when the year is about to end, parents worry about where they will find money to buy costumes their children will wear on graduation day. And most of these parents are living in a society where per capita income is below $1,000, and that's very burdensome. Okay, so I subscribe to the idea that the way we have organized these ceremonies up till now have been very irresponsible on the part of the people who make these things happen. And one of the reasons why this is so is the fact that we don't run democratic systems. Because if we have been running democratic systems in schools where parents are involved in planning these ceremonies, then parents will tell you what they can afford. And so you don't use what the top 10% of parents in your school in terms of income level can afford to determine what everybody will pay. You should use what the bottom 10% of parents in your school can afford to determine how much contribution parents have to make when you're organizing ceremonies. So you don't just throw away the child with the bathwater. You need ceremonies. Children look forward to these events. We run classrooms in Nigeria that are not as engaging as they should be. The average Nigerian teacher is not yet equipped with the latest skills that can make education and learning engaging for children to look forward to going to school. So one of the reasons why children still find classrooms places they want to go to is the fact that they're looking forward to when the term ends, when the year ends, when they will go through these ceremonies. And these are very big things for them. And this is a major motivation for them to do well in their work, because at these ceremonies, children are called out to receive awards, and these things make them work hard and do better academically and in various other ways. So when we take all of this out of the system, we are telling the children there's little or nothing again you can look forward to in the education system.
Right,
and the people who have come up with these ideas, parents and policymakers, have studied nothing that has to do with education. They are just using financial consideration to determine what we should do and what we should not do. Education is a social good, and it brings its benefits in the long term most of the time. That's why this whole idea of private education, where proprietors who have not studied education, who don't know what it means, they are all over the place, raking money and considering it strictly a business. Education is not just the regular business. Education is a business that cannot produce you immediate returns. Education is a business that produces returns sometimes over a period of 40 to 50 years.
All right, let me comment.
So when
Dr.
we bring in private sector people who don't understand these things and they want to make profit from every endeavor, then we are doing the wrong thing. And that's why if you go to the Scandinavian region where governments understand that education is a social good, even when they have permitted some private operators to come into the industry, they still give them money. They subsidize what they do. They support them so that the whole burden will not be placed on parents.
All right.
But in our country, we give you a license to run a school, and we don't support you through grants to make life easy for you and for parents who bring their children to your place. So you extract all the money you need to run the school from parents, and that's how we got to where we are. And at the end of the day, it's the child that is the grass now that is suffering when these two elephants are fighting.
Okay,
and
thank
so
you.
This is very unfortunate for us. And I hear, for example, they are saying once you prescribe a book, children must use it for 4 years and don't write inside the book.
Yes.
Your younger ones can inherit it. That's not education.
All right, thank you very much.
Can you insist that the books you prescribe to them must be used for 4 years? Supposing the contents of the book expire just 6 months after you have released them, we are insisting that children will continue to consume trash, things that are no longer relevant. It means Nigeria is not ready to compete internationally.
All right, thank you.
Because
in
the modern society, in the age
Dr.
of AI,
Peter,
you can't insist that you have to use textbook for 4 years.
We have to
if the knowledge in the textbook has expired after 6 months of releasing the book, you take the book out of the system and replace it with that which has what is currently
relevant and useful to children. But all we are thinking about is how to make it easy for parents to process their children through the education system. Children are not just Maggie cube. They are not milk that you process through the education system. These are human beings who have blood in their systems, who have feelings.
But at the same time, you have to understand.
Who have interests, who have objectives, who have needs that must be met. And we should learn to have the humility to always ask them, what do you want? Nigeria is a country where children have no voice and nobody speaks for them. So we just make policies and dish it out, and nobody cares how the children are going to feel about these things. JAM does it, WAEC does it, NECO does it. Now government at the highest levels are doing the same thing. We just impose things on the system. Nobody bothers about how it's going to affect the quality of education we're dishing out. All we want to save is money. Why are these politicians so much in a hurry to save money?
All right, Dr. Peter, we understand.
Why can't parents and school owners be trained to be able to acquire the skills to learn how to take decisions democratically?
We understand how passionate
in making decisions that determine how we are going to organize these ceremonies. You can organize ceremony without anybody paying a dime. Where people are wearing their thinking cap. But I hear sometimes, even when my children were going through the primary school much earlier, at the end of the year, the school proprietors want to use limousine to move them from their homes to school. Those things cost a lot of money. We don't need them. But we do need the ceremonies. Ceremonies don't have to cost us money.
All right, Dr. Peter, we understand how passionate.
Can be done.
We understand how passionate you are in regards to this event.
And that's something that we should consider indispensable in a society where most teachers don't know what they're doing.
Dr. Peter, we need to come in now. We understand how passionate you are in regards to this. We really understand how passionate you are with this. But then, so much to cover in regards to all of this. Well, we're live on Facebook and on YouTube at Super FM Lagos. We're live on Facebook and YouTube at Super FM Lagos. You can also send your comments, send your questions on the comment section. We'll take it up from there. We're live on Facebook and YouTube at Super FM Lagos. You can send in your questions, send in your comments. We'll take it up from there. Well, before I come to our guest in the studio, let's quickly go. Can you hear me, Dr. Peter? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Dr. Peter? Dr. Peter, can you hear me? Okay, let's move on the conversation. I don't know if he can really hear me. Well, let's open the phone lines. 0705 690 0927 0705 690 0927. Dr. Peter, can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear me, Dr. Peter? Okay, I guess network right there. Well, let's take this call. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. What's the name or where are you calling us from?
This is Dikin Ogundele calling from Ijegu.
All right, Dikin Ogundele from Ijegu. Please, 1 minute.
Following the conversation. In fact, when they don't know the road, they lead the led astray. You see, our policymakers in Nigeria, as far as education is concerned, we want in education to make the children have interest in what they are going to do. I think that is why you have in the process play way method. Most of these children, they are happy when they want to dress in native dress on their method. Most of these children, they are happy when they want to dress in native dress on their graduation day. In fact, this is not government matter. It is a matter between the Proprietors Association and the Parent Teachers Association. Iron it out amicably. What you don't give me to market, you cannot give me the price to sell it. If government is doing well, making their own school to the required standard, the private sector and the private schools will not be booming like this. let the government itself go and make their own house habitable. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Well, keep your call coming in 0705 690 0927. Also call 0802 502 7711. 0802 502 7711. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. All right, then let's go to our WhatsApp messages. Good morning, crew. This is saying if you want... Okay, good morning, crew. There's a saying, if you want to destroy our country, Nigeria, destroy the education, this is what the generation has done. You can see that this government does not value education, but to breed agbos and ignorant men for election gain. Some free education, they benefited from Awolowo, but our president has commercialized it by increasing school fees, introducing student loan, low-grade minds idea. Look at the state of our education. ASU going on strike, lecturers are leaving the country, even doctors and other professionals have left the country. In a sane country, these are the highest paid in the world, unlike your politicians, because they impact and save lives. Look at the state of JAMB and WAEC result of our students. Mass failure, our student dull. As usual, they said it's technical glitches, just like INEC. So much, Lekon from Lagos. Okay, I also have a message here says, good morning. In my children's school, the initial bill for graduation ceremony was rejected as too expensive. A committee was formed with parents, PTA, and school management to come up with an agreeable bill. The event was very successful. It is possible with collaboration and cooperation. Well, it says DR Corner. Okay, thank you very much. Let's take a call. Hello, good morning. All right, while I keep your call coming in, 0705 690 0927. Hello, good morning. All right, please, can you turn down the volume on your radio set so we can hear you properly? Hello? All right, sorry, we can't continue with that call. This is good morning. This is Mr. Inyang. Good topic. We lost our way in 1966 when we moved away from regional true federalism and adopted unitary system. We are reaping the results. Let us weep not. Pristine from Lagos. Okay, thank you very much, Pristine. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning and welcome to the program. What's your name? Where are you calling us from?
Hi, this is Usman from Balade.
Usman from Balade. Please go ahead, make your comment.
Yeah, your guest there, he said the school gets fired. I don't know where it's down from. All those teachers, they just want to use the pay to make money. You understand me? That's why when we were growing up, we use our group for primary school. Our group for primary school. We use give my junior one. So nowadays, teacher, now when you use your BP now, you cannot use your junior cannot use it again. You need to go back on that one again. They're just making money with the parents. You understand me?
All right, thank you very much. So they're just making money with the parents. Well, some parents are actually praising. Dr. Peter, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you please confirm if you can hear me clearly?
Yes, I can hear you now.
All right, thank you very much. Let's come to our guest in the studio right here, Dr. Owo Feira. Mr. Peter Owo Feira, the way things are going right now, some are even saying, well, Lagos State should emulate this structure, these policies that other states are putting out. But Nigerians are saying that this is what we need right now because some of these children some of the parents don't really have much to spend. Can't really. Some parents are going through hard times with these. But could denying children ceremonial recognition of milestones such as moving from primary to secondary school undermine their sense of achievement and motivation in a long time?
Thank you, Mr. Michael. To a large extent, it won't. That's the truth. But such things like the graduation that we were talking about, it helps. It enhances the child's mental acumen. It helps them. It gives them that sense of belonging.
To the mic,
okay, it gives them that sense of belonging. It makes them feel competitive, so to say. Let me put it in that way, because just like what doctor said, you know, with respect to the graduation, there are a lot of things that goes on there. If you do well in your class, they give you award.
You like it as a businessman, but you don't like it as a parent.
Yes. Yes.
Why is that?
I know, like I said, I just have to be factual here.
Okay.
As a businessman, it makes sense. Just like doctor said, the government too should also aid, should assist
should you do
the system.
Should you do a business that is not good for parents? Because as a parent you don't like it, but as a businessman you like it. So are you supposed to do a business that it's not going down well for parents?
Okay, basically we should do business that should go down well for parents. Business that should go down well for parents. So what I'm just saying in essence is that there should be a balance.
Okay.
You should take the school themselves should take into cognizance the kind of parents they have. And parents also should not push their own school. They should not be comparing their own school with other schools. I put it to you, some parents are the one that is causing this issue also. They put their schools, they put them, they give them tension, they stress them out.
But there are PTA meetings where you explain all of this to parents.
Some parents, I'm telling you again, some parents will want a particular way, some things to be done in a particular way. Some parents want it that way. Some parents, they want it that way. Because probably they're financially blessed. They want their children to have it that way. Probably they came from a higher school where they pay much higher, and they now come to a school where they pay lesser. They now want to come. They want to bring that to their own level. They won't want to come to the level of other parents, so they want to impose that. And some other parents, they are shy, they are ashamed. They don't want to look as if they don't have the money to do what others are doing. They agree. But the truth is, it is taking a heavy toll on the parents. So like I said, there should be a balance. There should be a PTA meeting. And also, of course, if Lagos State want to do such, they should call a roundtable meeting for both the proprietors and, of course, the parents. They should sit down. Where do we meet? Where's the balance? How do we get a balance so that both the parents and the school, everybody is a win. We want a win-win solution.
All right, talking about win-win solution, let's take this call. Hello, good morning. Yes, good. Oh, please, can you turn down the volume on your radio set so we can hear you properly? Good morning once again.
Hello, good morning.
Please turn down the volume on your radio set.
Hello.
All right, go ahead. Welcome. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is Mrs. Enyema and I'm calling from Shomolu.
Mrs. Enyema?
Yes, and I'm calling from Shomolu.
From Shomolu. Please make your comment.
Yes. Okay, so I said from my own point of view, I believe that this graduation and other things that the school do hold, I think it helps the children, but the cost is much. I think the children need it. Our children need it because they feel happy, both the award and other things. But you know, the parents, you know, due to the cost of things in Nigeria now, makes us, we don't know what to do again. But the truth is just that this graduation ceremony helps the children. It helps the children. So I will not advise or say maybe they should remove it. I will still say maybe the government should consider us. Hello?
Yes, with you, please go ahead. We can hear you.
The government should consider us, help us in some certain things, which is making things go, higher. I think it will help a lot. It will go a long way. I think so. But removing it, I don't think it's a good idea because my children themselves, they love it so much. They the graduation that they will be telling you this, it makes them happy, makes the children feel happy. It makes the children, I think generally, not a child, generally it makes the children feel so much happy. That is the little one I can contribute. Thank you very much, sir.
All right, thank you very much for your comment. Yes, I keep your call coming in 0705 690 0927. Well, we'll take a short break, and when we return, yes, don't forget, you can drop your comments, drop your questions on our social media, and we're live on Facebook at Super FM Lagos, and we're live on YouTube at Super FM Lagos. We'll be right back. Please stay with us We'll take a short break.
We don't just talk the talk, we walk the walk. Switch to the good side of life.
Point 7 and yes, today on Spotlight we're dissecting issues in the educational sector where they've been banned on basic school graduation ceremony, and even recently we also had the one on signing out. Yes, sign out ban also across Nigeria. Don't forget that is even let's also talk about that also because some schools have said that the act of signing out it's looking somehow fairy, and it's actually not a good one. For years, sign out has marked a milestone for many Nigerian students. A rite of passage where they wear white shirts, become canvases of farewell messages and excitement filling the air. But there's a wave of restrictions on extravagant sign out and graduation celebrations is sweeping across Nigeria, with state government and educational institutions citing concerns over morality, safety, and excessive spending on all of this. Well, is the Nigerian government stepping up to curb some of this immorality happening in our dear government? All of this conversation right here. Let's quickly take a... Okay. Well, the calls are not ready yet. We'll call callers 0705 6900 927 0705 6900 927. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Michael Ian.
Good morning.
I'm your guest in the studio. My name is Peter Usifu. I'm calling from Abaronjo in Ikoton.
All right, Peter Usifu from Ikoton. Please, 1 minute.
Yes, I believe that the world is evolving, and everything in this world, including education, is also evolving. In this policy, that is the banning of basic school graduation, and then, of course, the book system itself. I support the government 100%. Now, I want to ask your guest this question.
Please go ahead.
One, during their own time, was there anything like nursery school? And then secondly, did they graduate when they came out from primary school to secondary school, or even from secondary school to tertiary institution?
Dr. Peter, I'm sure you can hear that, right?
Like that? Pardon?
I'm here.
Okay.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, go ahead.
Are you hearing me? And I believe your guests were also hearing me. I said, was there anything like nursery school when they were attending schools? And of course, did they graduate from, was there anything like graduation ceremony from primary school to secondary school and from secondary school to tertiary school? Did they, have any graduation like that, ceremony like that? So I believe that government is doing something, and then they should not say that most of our commissioners of education today, did not, have bachelors in education. You don't need to have bachelor in education before you become a commissioner of education. So, and I believe that the government must have done this because of what they have had and what they have been seeing, in society. People have been complaining. So I strongly support the policy of this government as far as this matter is concerned.
Right, thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Owufera. Do you want to answer that question?
All right, thank you very much. Sincerely speaking, I went to a public school.
Okay.
And I had a good time in my public school. I went to Awodera Secondary School. If you have to talk about like this signing out stuff, I dislike it. And in fact, that one should be banned. With respect, you see, students, initially they started that when you are done with your school, you see them tear their uniform. That's how it started. They now graduated from that one. They now, what you now do, you now buy white and they start signing. They sign everywhere, sign even on where they ought not to be signing, on the chest of a girl. And all that. That one is not right. It's not right. We are gradually losing the moral fabrics of our nation if we allow things like this to keep going on. Sincerely speaking, the government really need to put their feet down and make sure that things are done well in our country, even in our educational sector. Because if you allow anything to go and everything to go, things will be going haywire, just the way what we are seeing right now. Because if you go to school, you are not going to school only to learn. You're also going to school to get certificate of good behavior. We don't want to get accountants that are thieves, intelligent crooks. No, we want people that have good morals. People that can of course, look at what is happening in our country. We want people that will be able to take our country to the next level, to compete well academically, and also showcase moral standard. Public school, I attended public school, and it was nice. So some of these things that is being brought in by private school, I think we should prepare it down a little.
So are you calling on other governments, state governments, to emulate the Sokoto state government who announced ban on signing out?
Yes, to that one, yes. They should do it. That's it yesterday. In fact, they should have done it yesterday. They should have done it yesterday. I don't like it. If you look at what is going on now, it's not nice. You look at it on social media, you see what is happening with the young ones. And just if you look, even not just the signing out, look at the party after the graduation, and check their result. Didn't you see the result they came out with? What are you graduating for? What are you celebrating? That you wrote exam that you don't even know whether you pass or whether you pass. You are celebrating like that. And some of them will come out with F9 parallel. What is all that? It should be an opportunity for you to think, okay, what is the next level? I am done with this particular exam. What is the next level? You are doing all this party, you are doing all this rubbish, and you cannot even confirm. You cannot even confirm your result, the kind of result you come out with. No, now they should cancel it. Yes, in fact, they should do that immediately. Yesterday, in fact, we are behind time. They should do it immediately.
All right, let me come to Dr. Peter Ogudoro. How do you receive this? Do you think other state governments should also emulate the Sokoto state government for banning signing out celebrations for graduating students in secondary schools?
Nobody is debating the issue of signing out graduation. Signing out, the way the children indulge in it reflects membership of courts. So no responsible government or no responsible parent or no responsible school leader should be seen to be promoting that, to be associated with it, or to allow it.
One family.
So, of course, I have monitored it, and that is not something that we should condone. I'm not sure that's the crux of the matter we're discussing this morning.
Yes. It's all in the educational sector. It's what the state government has called for.
To let evidence inform it. And if you have listened to me well, I have acknowledged the fact that many schools that have been organizing end of session ceremonies have not done it properly, because they, in the process of trying to impress everyone and also make money from what they're organizing, they place a lot of financial burden on parents. So I have condemned it. But I'm saying, if you do my kind of work as an educational researcher, you will understand that you can do ceremonies without placing financial burden on parents.
How can you do that?
Do ceremonies without parents contributing a dime.
How can you do that?
Without anybody asking, anybody for money. A ceremony is just a place where, people gather to acknowledge the work a child has done over a period of 1 year. It doesn't matter the level. And evidence we have. This is the industry where I have invested over 40 years in. I do research in it globally. The evidence we have is that it is a ceremony children look forward to. It provides them the inspiration, the motivation to work hard on their books and to ensure they don't miss classes so that they can qualify to participate and take home awards. And when they get home, they are celebrated further for representing their families well. And as a result of the hard work they put into ensuring that they are among those who do well and who can be acknowledged at such ceremonies, these children go above and beyond to pay attention to the essence of what we do in the school system, which is to provoke learning. Okay? So because some school proprietors have gone overboard in terms of the financial burden they place on parents, we throw it away. What we are doing is to throw away the child with the bathwater. So when people are listening to me, they should listen carefully. And the issue of when we finish secondary school, did we do graduation ceremony? Most of the places where this is happening, up till now, there is hardly any public school that organizes ceremonies. Those things are still there. So I attended the public school. So you can't be asking me that question, because even public schools today still don't do ceremonies. Most of the parents who send their children to these places, if you take the average income and compare to the average income of parents who send their children to public schools, to private schools, you discover that the average income of parents who send their children to public schools is usually lower. Okay? So in public schools, you still don't have ceremonies, just as it was when I went to school. But again, should we, even if it was pervasive even if it wasn't there during my time and it's not pervasive because things have changed, will that be the reason why we should, dismiss something without finding out if it has worked well? During my time, teachers used to flog students, sometimes giving them wounds. Can we then say that because we did that during my time, then we should continue to do it? We have discovered today that you don't use the stick to get the child to learn. That a child can learn without having to, receive bullets, by way of cane that the teachers are using to flog them. So you can't societies are moving forward. Some 50, 80 years ago in England, in America, in Canada, in Germany, students were also flogged in schools. Even when the colonial masters were here, they used to approve, that students be flogged. But they have gone back home and they have been doing research and they have discovered that that's not the best way. Even at home level, as a parent,
we have to wrap up now.
We still see Nigerian parents who insist that the only way their children can learn is to flog them. We have evidence that says that's not correct. I'm a parent. I've processed my two children through the education system up to university level, and they have finished. I have never for one day flogged them. And they have been winning awards in academics, they have been winning awards in morals, both locally and internationally.
Thank you very much.
So we can't say because we know only one thing and then we insist that what we know is the way the world should be run. We must learn to invest in research. This is not a society where people pay attention to evidence. Let me take
that word where you said
start talking about let us pay attention to evidence. I think that this is not a good attitude to have as a society.
All right, thank you very much.
We can do ceremonies without having to get parents to spend a lot of money on it.
All right, thank you very much. We can do ceremonies without a parent spending a lot of money on it. Well, you're also a parent, and we also have a parent here, and also a proprietor here. Let's quickly take this message. Good morning, presenter. We understand the government has failed in policy making through political will to do the right things. Graduation ceremony has been in the educational system since time immemorial. But the problem here is that the school are the ones that organize and reward their students through some notable individuals and philanthropists. Let any school that wants to do graduation ceremony do it without additional burden on parents. Let them build libraries to enhance learning. Well, you didn't tell us your name, but thank you very much for that message. Well, Mr. Peter Owefera, we just have to wrap it up now. Thank you very much for coming on the program this morning. It's been a wonderful time talking to you. Thank you very much for being part of the show.
Thank you, Mr. Michael.
All right, so Lagos, we'll wrap it up right here on the program on Spotlight on Super FM 92.7. Let's do it again tomorrow, 8 o'clock down to 9:30. I am Michael Inyang. Please have a glorious day.
We don't just talk the talk, we walk the walk. Switch to the good side of life.